Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, everybody. This is Dr. Bridget Young from babyformulaexpert.com. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Bridget Young. I'm a doctor of perinatal nutrition and a certified lactation counselor and founder of babyformulaexpert.com. And today we are having happy hour on Wednesday because I want you to really perk up your ears and listen hard. It's nothing. You hear nothing. It's quiet. All of my boys are out having man time. So I am just obviously didn't take advantage of the time to shower, but I am soaking in the quiet. I put up a few Christmas decorations. I love Christmas so much. I'm having wine out of my Waterford crystal wine glasses that I bought for myself before I was married. A set of 8. There are now 2 remaining. So I never use them. They're also have a ridiculous long top heavy stem. You can fit an entire half a bottle of wine in here. Anyway, I love them so much. So I'm drinking out of that. This is a very fine vintage 2017 boxed wine. The wine glass is just ashamed, but you do what you can. And today we're going to be talking about some baby toddler recipe for snacks and desserts. And I got to level with you. I'm not going to give you recipes. I did it once over a video and everybody just wanted it written down. So I will have all of these recipes written down. Wait for it, because I'm releasing a mini toddler cookbook full of toddler snacks and desserts that are completely guilt-free, but fantastically tasty and will allow you to have treats in your house and desserts without the inevitable baby toddler sugar crash that comes with normal treats and desserts. Also, got to be honest with you, I meant to have the book available so I could be like, and click here to buy it, but I'm having a lot of trouble getting it formatted for Amazon, so any day now. So if you're watching this and you are interested in hearing as soon as it is available, just leave a comment and I will be sure that you get notified. If you're on my email list, you will get notified. So, but I wanted to give you a little preview first. I did bring over here to show you, this is my very, very old school recipe box because I love baking. I'm a terrible cook, terrible, but I love baking and I've gotten pretty good at it. And so I have this old school paper box because I tweak recipes forever until I feel like they're just perfect, and then I rewrite them and they go in. Here's a recipe I'm working on that originally came from my friend Jenny, but that, you know, I tweak and tweak until I feel really comfortable feeding them to my kids. So the general principles, which I think will be helpful, that I use when feeding very young children, including babies after 6 months up to the toddler years, are pretty obviously, of course, decrease the sugar. We feed our kids way too much sugar. It wreaks havoc on their body and it wreaks havoc on their mind. And so it makes them just, at least my kids, maybe, I don't know if it's them or it's because they're boys, but it makes them just physically incapable of listening and obeying, which makes me frustrated, and it's a vicious cycle. So decreasing the sugar as much as possible in any recipe that you give your kid. The counterpart to that is increasing the fat. Our meaning like American in general, baby food, baby snacks, and I'm including up to like age 3 in that, you know, young toddler years. They are full of sugar and they're full of carbs. I have nothing against carbs. They provide healthy energy for growing little bodies, but not the best energy sometimes. Fat definitely is more calorically dense for tiny tummies that can only hold so much food, and has much more nutrients in it, such as fatty acids, where carbohydrates just provide energy. And so I like to provide a lot of healthy fat in my recipes for toddlers because often that's lacking in their diet. And then protein, of course, anytime you can sneak protein in, and that's usually just because the average toddler isn't a fan of protein. They won't come to you and be like, Mom, I would like a chicken breast. They'll say Cheerios. So, and then the very last thing, which goes for all of us, is anytime we can sneak vegetables or any kind of micronutrients into our food, it's something that our bodies need, and that is generally lacking in the standard American diet. So this recipe book that I'm coming out with is a tiny but mighty treasure. It has 15 recipes in it, and I was going to wait until I tweaked a couple more, and then I thought, no, first of all, these recipes are all so badass. They're awesome that you guys deserve to have it. And 2, I have purchased baby food cookbooks that have like 200 recipes, and it is just overwhelming. I have not even opened them. Like, first of all, I don't need a recipe to tell me how to put something into a pureer. I can figure that out for myself. Secondly, I'm not going to spend 20 minutes making a separate little dish for my 2 kids. It's overwhelming. And at 200, you find the one recipe your kid likes, and then you may end up making it like 4 times a week. So this book is for you. It is separated into, I have my little notes here, so don't forget, 4 sections. Breakfasts, which contains, I'm just going to give you like 2 of my favorite recipes in each category. Breakfast, my all-time probably favorite recipe in the whole book, I don't know, I can say that multiple times, is the pumpkin pancakes. They're gluten-free. Everything is gluten-free. I'll do a tangent there. Not because I don't think kids can have gluten. I'm not an anti-gluten person. I myself am gluten-free, which is one reason the recipes are gluten-free, because I eat all of these extensively. But because, for all the reasons I just mentioned, when you're making food for toddlers or babies, especially if the toddler or baby is a picky eater, I think there's more nutrient-dense choices for flour. So, for example, I use a lot of almond flour and coconut flour and even bean flour, as opposed to just wheat flour. All of those provide nutrients that wheat flour does not. Some of them provide a good source of fat and protein, like the coconut and the almond flour. And because of those things, they also have a lower impact on the baby's blood sugar, which is one of the reasons you get that sugar crash. So avoiding all those things is a benefit. So the pancakes and all the recipes are gluten-free. They're made with a large amount of pumpkin puree and egg. And you guys know I love eggs. Eggs are so nutrient dense. And this is our favorite breakfast recipe in my family. My kids love them, and I just am overjoyed watching them eat like 3 or 4. The other reason I love them is because I kind of use them like bread. I make a triple batch, and then I use the pancakes like bread. So if we have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich later in the day or week, I just quickly toast 2 pancakes and put the peanut butter and jelly on that. And that, compared to just a standard sandwich on bread, like, makes my nutritionist heart sing. It's so exciting to watch them eat it. And they have no clue. They love it. They love it. And my kids love bread. So to see them eat something else besides bread makes me so happy. So that's my favorite breakfast recipe. The snacks, I'm cheating a little bit because I have the peanut butter bar recipe on the website already. And I know a lot of you have tried it. And yes, it's awesome. I'm adding a pumpkin bar recipe, which kind of evokes feelings of a Nutri-Grain bar, but is so much better. So I'll leave it there. It is delicious. It freezes really well, so you can just pull little pieces out at a time for your diaper bag. And pumpkin naturally pairs really, at this time of year, we know pumpkin pairs really well with a lot of spices that evoke a sweet flavor. So if you put pumpkin and cinnamon and cloves together and then you eat it, you haven't added any sugar, but somehow it kind of conjures up that feeling of sweetness in your mouth. And so I really take advantage of that in some recipes to trick kids into thinking that they're eating something with much more sugar than they really are. And then I have 2 different sections of desserts, actual desserts and then cakes. So there's several different desserts. There's a chocolate chip cookie recipe that is going to blow your mind. It has no sugar. Well, I guess the chocolate chips have sugar, but I use super dark 65% chocolate chips. And so that's really minimal. So besides the chocolate chips, no sugar, no honey, no maple syrup, like no cheating with the sugar there. And about half the recipe is based off of walnuts. So it is so rich in super healthy fats and a lot of protein. And even my husband loves these cookies. And the man is a child of the Twinkie age. I'm telling you, they're amazing. And my kids, obviously, I mean, they're 2 and 3, so they don't, God forbid, they've never had a Twinkie. But they don't really know what they're missing, but they cannot get enough of these. There's a brownie recipe that has a secret ingredient that is going to blow your mind. It is also gluten-free, very, very minimal. I don't think there's any sugar in that one either. You're going to love it. And then there is a recipe, a different chocolate chip cookie recipe that's actually made from garbanzo beans in the cookbook. It's on my blog somewhere if you want to preview it. That also, I bring these to parties. People have no idea. Any child event, I bring this stuff to. And it's always a hit. And I always volunteer to bring dessert to Christmas parties now if my kids are coming, because it's a way for me to avoid them eating Reese's cups on top of sugar cookies, on top of, they've never had soda, but like full strength juice. Oh, and don't you hate it when family or friends are like, oh, but they're doing so well. They can stay up late. They always behave. I'm like, yeah, until they get in the car and then they're a nightmare. And it's only me. And I'm like, oh, someone film this so I can send it to all of them and show them how terrible this is. I love/hate the holidays. So these recipes will hopefully help you as much as they've helped me avoid that crash. And lastly, there's a whole section for cake. And the reason, it's only 3 cake recipes, but they are the only cakes I ever make now. And 3 is plenty. You find one cake recipe that's awesome, you make it every single year for the birthday. And that's totally what I have done. So I have a vanilla, it's called really the first birthday cake section. So when your baby turns 1, we want to let them have a birthday cake. I let my kids have a birthday cake because that's, there's so much more to food than just nutrition. It's very cultural, but I didn't want to get something, from the grocery store, make something from a box that really has so much sugar in it, especially if you haven't fed your kids sugar. That much of a sugar crash can really wreak havoc. So these 3 cake recipes are practically guilt-free. I make them for both my kids' birthdays every year, and people love them. They are so good for you. So there's a chocolate cake recipe, a vanilla cake recipe, and a Samoa cake recipe that has kind of inspired by the Girl Scout Samoa cookies. Got a little bit of a peanut butter feel to it. And then a homemade frosting recipe that's sweetened with dates. So that's for the real hippy dippy moms. So I love that frosting recipe because it is hippy dippy and sweetened with dates. It has a little bit of a brown color to it. So for the first birthday, you want to spring for some nice white frosting that you can do writing on. Go for it. For family party, go for the hippy dippy brown frosting. This book, it's going to be super cheap. It's going to be, I think, roughly $10 for the ebook, $15 if you want a printed copy that you can keep in your kitchen. The cake recipes, it's so silly and selfish of me to say they're priceless, but they really are. I have used them so many times. I've shared them with so many family members. My family all knows if I bring a cake, this is what I'm bringing, and they don't care. They're so excited to eat it. And again, you just avoid that horrible sluggish feeling afterwards. So it's very beneficial for parents as well. I'm going to end it there. Again, I'm really sorry that I don't have it available like right now. It'll be coming in the next 1 to 2 days. So share this with your mommy group, share this with your mommy friends. If it's something that you think you would be interested or someone you know would be interested, it's not there, excuse me. And just leave a comment that you would like to be notified when it comes out. If you are on my email list, you will be notified. So thank you so much for all of the inspiration that I get from you guys. I've put a few recipes that are tailored for babies here and there on the website, babyformulaexpert.com, and they're always so popular. And I've received a lot of emails from parents saying how helpful the recipes have been, how much their kids love them. And if you have a picky eater or a baby, like, an 8 to 9 month old baby that's really having a hard time eating solid foods, I hear ya. And it is so relieving to find something nutritious that they'll eat. It kind of gives you a little bit of an insurance policy, like at least they'll eat the peanut butter bars. I've actually said that out loud before about my one son who will remain nameless. Peter, he's the worst eater. He's over it now. But anyway, I so relate to that feeling of a little bit of desperation. And I'm telling you, these recipes really helped pull our whole family through that phase, that year-long phase that he was in. At least he's going to eat these things. And it's really what has inspired me to put this out there. If I can help just a couple families who are suffering through the same phase, it is just my greatest honor and joy to do that. So with that, I've got to go because you guys are going to be so jealous. The boys are gone, right? So I'm having my wine out of my real wine glass, and I got 2 girlfriends coming over, and we're going to watch Crazy Rich Asians. Like, literally not been so excited about something in a really long time. So I have to go because I have to go prepare. Thank you so much. If I can be of help to your family, if you're having formula tolerance issues, it would be my great joy. Head over to babyformulaexpert.com and you can sign up to set up a time to speak with me and set up a time for a consultation. And it would be my honor to help your family work through that. Happy holidays, and I will see you guys next Wednesday for happy hour. Take care. Bye.